Well, hey there, cowboys and cowgirls. If I'm showing up on your For You page and you have no idea who I am, you might want to. Especially if the opportunity to own land in America or keep land that you've bought matters at all. Which I think for Americans is a lot of us. So let's talk about this comment right here. Because the government trying to take land from people is exactly what's happening to me. And what's happening to me can happen to you. What you're basically looking at is the current guinea pig for an attempted land grab in Colorado. And because of the way case law works, what happens in Colorado doesn't stay in Colorado. So if you've watched this far, allow me to elaborate further. Because here's where it gets really interesting. Not only is the government trying to take land that I bought fair and square, but they're trying to force me to share it with the public. Why? Because my community wants it. And they convinced the government to come after me. Now you might be wondering, why did they do that? Well, they did it because they've been using my land for a long period of time with permission from prior owners. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but this matters quite a great deal. See, there's a cool thing in America where if you're a landowner and you give the public permission to use your land, it's supposed to protect you from the public one day coming back and trying to take that land from you. And isn't that wonderful for everybody? Private property owners get to share their land with the public gets to enjoy land, and we all go happily about our lives. Not in my situation. Despite prior owners giving permission for the public to use my land, the government, in an unprecedented move, is now trying to force me to maintain that standard of sharing. Doesn't that feel so gross? In addition, they're also trying to take my land. Now, this happens sometimes with eminent domain, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Because in my situation, eminent domain doesn't apply. So instead, the government is attempting to adversely possess my land without just compensation. And here's why that should terrify you. Number one, the government has been taxing my land privately for about 100 years. I also pay private property taxes. I also got a survey done showing that the land is mine. The government had their own survey done showing that the land isn't theirs. And you want to know what they're claiming now? They're basically saying none of that matters. Paying taxes doesn't mean that they have to acknowledge that the land is privately owned. Hope you were sitting down for that one. And they're also claiming that despite having record of it being private property for about 100 years, they've changed their mind. So I'm currently fighting this in court, of course, because property rights. You know, just the good old American dream of being able to own what you bought. So if you've watched this far, you might want to tell your friends. Those of us against this better stick together.